Life is a game, but it's a game that no one agreed to play. And we don't see anything wrong with that. That's the problem. It's a game, but no one agreed to play this game. But we don't see anything wrong with that. That is the problem. When it comes to everything that happens in this game, we see the value of consent. Politicians cannot force people to vote for them. If I was a politician, even if I knew that I wanted to do the right thing, I actually cared about the people, and every other politician was corrupt, I was the only politician who was not corrupt, it would be wrong for me to force people to vote for me. It doesn't matter if I'm right. People are free to make stupid mistakes. People are free to make wrong choices. People are free to learn from their mistakes. Because if you don't make mistakes, you don't even learn, right? So, forcing people to not make a mistake will be wrong. Forcing people to do anything at all will be wrong. There are a lot of things that people do that we don't have a problem with if they've agreed that they wanted to do these things. People have sex. If there's consent, we don't have a problem. Like, hey, do you? Because there's consent. If you have sex with a person that can consent, we don't have a problem. If we know that, okay, this person can consent, we don't have a problem because we know that they can consent. I mean, they've consented, and it's not just about being able to consent, but it's also about consenting. If you have sex with a person that cannot consent, we know that that is wrong. Why do we feel like creating a new person and putting them in the game of life? Why do we feel like that is not wrong? See, my problem is in that people are having children. Hey, if you watch my videos, you actually realize this guy doesn't really care. That's not really my problem. You know what my problem is? We're not intellectually honest. That's my problem. My problem is that we have convinced ourselves that when we put people in this game without their consent, we're doing the right thing. That's my problem, is it? If you're going to be a psycho, do horrible things, I don't care. I don't care. But you must be honest with yourself about what you're doing. Can you imagine if you were mistreating people and you didn't think you were mistreating them? Like, that's messed up, right? Like, by default, that's messed up. My problem is that we believe that when we bring people into this game, we have done the right thing. This game is a gift. Each and every person that's in this game must be happy. If you are not happy, you are the problem. How can you not be happy? Look at how beautiful this game is. My problem is that life is a game that people didn't agree to play. That's my problem. And we don't see anything wrong with that. If a person feels like this game is hard, if they feel like something is off with this game, oh, we will blame them, we will gaslight them, make them feel bad, for feeling the way that they feel. And we don't see anything wrong with that. That's my problem. See, we pretend as if people who are playing this game have agreed to play. So if a person says, hey, I'm suffering, hey, I'm not happy, what's going on? We blame them as if they chose to come and play this game. Do you understand how wrong that is? Do you understand how wrong it is to force someone to do something and then pretend as if they have agreed to do it? Like, convince yourself that they've agreed to do it. Or convince yourself that even if they didn't agree to do it, it's still the right thing to do, so you are right. That's my problem. My problem is that as humans, we are not intellectually honest. The problem isn't that people are having kids. I don't want to control other people, and I don't want to be a god. I don't want to be the one to decide how people get to live their lives. I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is the truth. What I care about is people being intellectually honest, not people being delusional and lying to themselves about what they are doing. You cannot convince yourself that when you have a child, you are giving them a gift. That doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no logic that actually can end with you thinking that you gave someone a gift by bringing them into this realm. There's no logic. Like, it's completely illogical to think that you gave someone a gift by bringing them here. It's completely illogical. Like, there's no logic that can actually make sense if the conclusion is that you actually gave someone a gift by forcing them to play a game that they didn't ask to play. It's not a gift. It's what you want. You want to put people in the game. It doesn't matter to you if these people want to play the game or not. If they will want to play the game or not. To you, it doesn't matter. And you live in a society where it doesn't matter if the people that are put in the game will want to play the game or not. Like, no one talks about how people just find themselves playing a game that they didn't ask to play. No one talks about how wrong that might be. It's normal. And if you say, hey, that might be wrong, you the bad guy, you the villain. When you ask people, hey, why do you think I'm a villain for telling you that forcing people to play a game that they didn't ask to play is wrong? They fall back into their delusions, right? They will fall back into their delusions. Like, hey, my religion taught me that I must actually make people play this game. So if you are against that, then you are evil, because you are against my religion. You're like, well, it's just your religion. It's just what you believe, and I mean, it's not like you believe what you believe because you've seen something that actually, made you believe what you believe. You just wanted to have faith in something. Like, the way that you chose your religion is not so different from choosing your favorite athlete, from choosing your favorite soccer team. So why should I take you seriously? Some people will love and support a team like a team from their country. They'll support an athlete from their country. Like if you're from Ireland, you'd be like, oh, Conor McGregor is the best. And you'd want him to win. It's not about who's a better fighter. Like Conor McGregor is fighting Michael Chandler on the 29th of this month. People from Ireland are going to support Conor McGregor. People from America are going to support Michael Chandler. It's not about who's, a better fighter. It's about who comes from my country, who's representing my country. The way that people choose their religion is the same way that they choose their favorite athletes. Like, hey man, this is a religion that people in my country believe in. So I must believe in a religion that everyone believes in. It's people, in my opinion, these are the kind of people who they lack imagination. They are not conscious enough to think for themselves. They're not like, it's like a person who grows up in a place where they play like certain genre of music, and they just love the genre of music, and they don't listen to other genres of music. I mean, like where I grew up, they play Shitsonga music, they play house music, they play Shingondo. I grew up listening to rap music. I grew up listening to rap music. I would listen to, everyone knew that I loved rap music. Because I'm an independent thinker. I'll look for what I love. Like, to me, it's not about being different. It's about what I love. When I was growing up, I used to think I don't love music until I discovered rap. And I was like, wow. I remember hearing Candy Shop for the first time, and I was mind blown. I was like, damn, like this song is so damn dope. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I became like biggest fan of hip hop where I live, Some people are loyal to what they know, and they don't want to discover new things. They don't want to learn about new things. That's how they've been programmed. You have to understand that humans don't care about truth. They care about survival, but they think they do care about truth. That's the problem. So it sucks that people will fall back into that delusion when you ask them, hey, why do you think it is right to force people to play a game that they didn't ask to play, and that they might not like playing? And someone says, oh, my religion says this and that. No, you do not believe in your religion because you are this super intelligent person who truly cares about the truth. You believe in your religion because you grew up in a place where everyone believes in that religion, or you were indoctrinated since you were a little kid, or you wanted to believe in something, and you discovered your religion first before you discovered the other religions. So You believe in your religion because of that. That we need to be honest with ourselves about how we get to believe the things that we believe if we want to get to the truth. There isn't a human being, I don't give a damn how smart they are, there isn't a human being that can disagree with any of the things that I've said. There isn't. Any of the things that I've said in this video, there isn't a human being who can actually disagree, because I'm right. If I say I don't want to put someone in this game because I don't know if they're going to love this game, I'm right. That's the right way to think as a human. No one should criticize you for thinking that way. In fact, people should actually praise you for thinking that way. Because you are completely right. It is true that you don't know if a person that you would put in this game will actually love playing this game if you decided to put a person in this game. The problem is that we believe that every person must love this game. See? We've convinced ourselves that each and every person that's put in this game must love this game. That's why I keep on telling y'all that society is a cult. Because people just convince themselves of things that they want to be true. In a cult, they can make you believe that you must not cut your hair. If you cut your hair, you will be sinning against God. So you don't cut your hair. In a cult, they can make you believe that you must not sleep with your wife when she's pregnant, for example. They can make you believe that you must not sleep with your wife when she's pregnant because of ignorance, not really because it's wrong, but that's what they've convinced themselves. So people convince themselves that, hey, it's wrong to sleep with your wife and she's pregnant because she's already pregnant. So why sleep with her? Because people have sex so that they can reproduce. So now your wife is pregnant, why have sex with her? In a cult, they can convince you that a woman must not wear a trouser. A woman must not wear a trouser. Only men can wear a trouser, but they can't really tell you why, because they made it up. They made that shit up, you know. Someone with power didn't like the fact that some women were wearing trousers, so they were like, hey, women, they didn't like the fact that some women were wearing trousers, so they were like, no, women shouldn't wear trousers. Some men didn't like the fact that some women were able to speak in front of other men. Like, no woman should be allowed to speak in front of men. They have decided that making a person play this game is the right thing to do, but they don't know why it's the right thing to do, why they believe it's the right thing to do. If you tell them that no, it's actually wrong to make a person play this game if they didn't ask to play it, even though that makes a lot of sense, they still convince themselves that it's the right thing to do. It's like people don't care about the truth. They care about what they want the truth to be. The same way that people will support the athletes that they love, athletes from their countries, not because these athletes are better than the athletes that they are not supporting. When Khabib beat Conor McGregor, because there were a lot of people from Ireland in the arena, there was chaos. People were mad, throwing stuff into the octagon. I mean, yeah, Khabib really did like some stupid after defeating Conor McGregor. I mean, dude didn't have to jump out of the cage. He should have like really celebrated the win, because dude, that would have been great. You know what I mean? Like, it was the biggest fight in UFC history. There were a lot of fans from Ireland who wanted to see Conor McGregor win, but Khabib decided to jump out of the cage because of stupid things, really, that one of Conor McGregor's entourage was saying. But they wanted Conor McGregor to win so bad that they were angry. There have been instances where soccer fans got angry because their team lost and became violent. Some people even died because of that. Stupid. Shows you how stupid human beings can be. That's why people fight because of religion. Like, yeah, my religion is true. My religion is true. They fight, murder one another because of that. Because of something that they don't know. You know, because of something that they don't know. Because of something that they don't believe because it's true, or they are supposed to believe. If they grew up in a different country, they will probably believe what the people that they are fighting with believe. So let's say you grew up in a place where everyone is a Muslim and you fight Christians. You don't know that if you were born in a place where everyone is a Christian, you'll be Christian. Usually when I'm debating with Christians, I tell them that, hey, what you must realize is that, because Christians will tell me that, no, you mustn't question the things of God. So I tell them that, hey, listen, if you say that I mustn't question the things of God, let's say the Muslims are also saying the same thing. That will mean that let's say if you were born in a Muslim country and they're telling you to not question the things of God, you will not be a Christian. So it means that if Christianity is true, you would not have found the right religion. You would not have found the right religion because you're not questioning the things of God. So you cannot say that it is wrong to question the things of God if you want to get to the truth. Because that's the only way to get to the truth. The only way to get to the truth is by asking questions, is by asking yourself what makes the most sense. There's nothing demonic about asking questions. In fact, asking questions is a sign of intelligence. People who don't ask questions are just not intelligent. Why ask questions if you're not intelligent? Because the answers won't even make sense to you. If you don't understand math, if they give you a math problem and the equations are wrong, you won't even realize that the equations are wrong. You won't even ask questions. You're like, let me try to solve the problem, even if the equations are wrong, because you don't understand math. Some people don't really think. They can't think. They can't think for themselves. So even if you tell them something that doesn't make sense, they won't realize that what you're telling them doesn't make sense, because they're not capable of asking the right questions. They're not capable of thinking critically. Life is a game. Some people win and they keep on winning. Some people lose and they keep on losing. If you keep on winning, you have access. You have access to the things that you want. If you make money, you're gonna have, like, if you make a certain amount of money, you're gonna find that you have access to some things that people who are not making the kind of money that you're making don't have access to. If you make 100,000 a month, you're gonna have access to things that people who are making 10,000 a month don't have access to. The same way that when you're playing a game, you have to keep on winning to have access to the things that you don't like have access to when you start playing the game. You gotta keep getting points so that you have access, to things that you don't have access to when you start playing the game without any points. So that's what I'm telling you. Life is a game. When you look at how games are designed, you'd see that that's exactly how life is. If you make $1 million a month, you're gonna have access to things that a person who's making 100,000 doesn't have access to. So it's a game. That's what it is, a game. But just because it's a game doesn't mean that people should be forced to play. Maybe some people don't love this kind of game. Maybe some people won't love this kind of game. So if we do not know if people are going to love playing this game, why did we conclude that everyone must love playing this game? And if they don't love playing this game, it means that there's something wrong with them. I've met a lot of people that I've really liked, that I thought were great. You meet a person, you're like, damn, this person is so great. This is how a person should be. But you find that they're not winning in life. And they think that there is something wrong with them because they're not winning in life. I mean, this game that we're playing comes with its own laws, rules. What if you're different? What if you're not meant for this game? Should you be happy? What if you're not meant to thrive in a world that has been designed the way that it's been designed? What if you are meant to thrive in a world that's different from this world? There are people who grew up in a place where they were supposed to act a certain way and they couldn't thrive because of that. Once they move to a new place, they start to thrive because, now they are in a place that's actually good for them. But when they were in that place where they were not able to thrive, people were acting like there was something wrong with them. People were treating them as if there was something wrong with them. Oh, look at other people. They're doing well. You're not doing well. What's going on? Because you're in a place that's not good for you. That's why. That's why you're unable to thrive. If you find yourself in a good place, in a place that's good for you, it'll be easy for you to thrive. If you find yourself surrounded by people that that don't really understand you, you might not really talk much. But when you find yourself surrounded by people who understand you, you might talk much. You might find yourself being free to actually talk however you want to talk because you're surrounded by people who understand you. So just because some people are not able to thrive, that doesn't mean that there is something wrong with them. Think of it this way. Do you think people who don't want to commit crime, People don't want to hurt other people will thrive in prison. Prison is a place where people who are willing to do anything can thrive. If you're not willing to do harmful things, you're not going to be able to thrive in prison. You don't thrive in prison by being a good person. You don't thrive in prison by being fair, by playing a fair game, by treating people the way that you want to be treated or the way that you feel like people should be treated. No. You won't thrive. You're going to suffer a lot. You're gonna like really experience hell because you don't know the rules, like the unspoken rules. That's the thing. You don't know the unspoken rules. Like maybe you have to join a gang, become part of a gang. And you'll be able to like survive. Maybe once you become part of a gang, you need to stab someone. You think a highly conscious person would want to do that? Like, I want to stab someone because I want to be part of a gang. Do you think a highly conscious individual will be like, yeah, I want to stab someone so that I'm part of a gang? Only some people who are like really willing to do horrible things would want to do that, you see? But not every person would want to do that. I find that some people are too conscious to want to play that game, but it doesn't mean they're weak. Some prisoners will actually think that people who don't want to want to stab other people, who don't want to abuse other people, are weak. Well, the truth is that they are just too damn conscious. They can do that, but it's like that too damn conscious. Some people think that you are weak for not wanting to play, these games that human beings are playing. Well, the truth is that actually you can play these games that they are playing even better than most people, but there's no willingness to play because you realize how stupid some of these games are. You're like, I don't want to play this game. Like, something about this game is off. You see the problem? So it would be good if, as humans, we were so honest with ourselves about the things that we're doing. If I'm doing something that is actually wrong or that might lead to something bad happening, I must be honest with myself. If I live in a society where it is okay to mistreat a certain group of people, I must be honest with myself that actually that it sucks that the world is the way that it is. I mustn't be like, hey, it's okay. So this is the reason why slavery lasted for too long. Slavery lasted for a very long time because people were not honest with themselves. They were not honest with themselves. They felt like owning another person was actually a good thing. Like it's a good thing to own another person. A person who's conscious enough to know that they don't want to be owned. No, there are people who know that I don't want to be owned by another person. I want to be free. I want to be sovereign. I want to do my own thing. Imagine if we still lived during the time when it was okay to own another person. They would suffer, these people, who don't want to be owned by another person, but they are owned by other people just because, they were born in a certain country. Because their parents are not powerful. We need to be honest with ourselves if we want this game to actually make sense. The game won't make sense if people are not going to be intellectually honest. if they are going to behave like animals. If to them it would just be about what works. What works? Oh, this is allowed. Damn, I'm gonna do it just because it's allowed and it works. To me, it's not about whether it's right or wrong, whether it makes sense or it doesn't. To me, that doesn't matter. It's allowed, so I don't care. I do believe that there have been people who lived during the time of slavery who didn't want to own other people and who could have owned other people, but they were like, no, I don't want to own another person. I don't think that is right. I don't think that I would be honest enough if I convince myself that owning another person is good. I'd rather maybe employ people to work for me and I'll pay them. But I don't want to own another person. So these people are going to have rights. They're going to be free to leave if they want to leave. They'll be free to do things that they want to do. Like, they'll be free to work for as long as they want to work. I'm not going to force them to do everything that I tell them to do. If they don't want to do some of the things that I tell them to do, cool. That's you being intellectually honest as a person. That's you being a decent human being. So, really, does it make sense to force someone to play a game that they didn't agree to play and that they might not like? You know that some people like the game, but you also know that not everyone is going to like the game. It gets to a point where some people don't love the game, but they are forced to pretend as if they like the game because they are in the game. They're like, hey, I'm in the game. I don't know what to do. I can't just say I don't like the game. Like, people feel like it is wrong for a person to say, hey, I'm not enjoying the game, man. I'm not enjoying the game. I don't know. They'll be like, oh, you're complaining. What's wrong with complaining? People can't even tell you what's wrong with complaining. If things are not making sense, then you too have the right to complain. You do have the right to say, hey, this doesn't make any sense to me. They will say that you're weak, fine. They're the ones who are wrong. They're the ones who don't think right. Maybe you are too strong to have been able to actually think right. Maybe it takes a lot of energy to think right. That is why you seem weak. Maybe it takes a lot of energy to do the right thing. That's why you seem weak. Maybe doing the wrong thing doesn't really require a lot from people. Maybe doing the wrong thing doesn't really require a lot from people. So they think they're strong because it doesn't really require a lot to do the wrong thing. Intellectually, honesty is that important. We live in a world where we weren't given answers. We are in this game, but we don't have the answers. We're not in a game that we know how to stop playing. I mean, it would be wrong to force someone to play FIFA, but they will know how to stop playing if they wanted to stop playing. You're in a game that you don't know how to stop playing. You don't know what happens when the game ends. Like, we don't know anything. And people think that it is the right thing to do to make someone play this game, to bring someone into this game that no one even know how it started. No one even know why it's being played. No one knows what happens after the game has ended. No one even knows if they keep on playing the game forever. Do you think it's the right thing to do to bring someone into the game that you don't even know how it started, who started it, why it was started? How do you know it was started for a good reason? How do you know that it was started for a good reason? You know, someone was like, hey, let me create a game where sentient beings are going to enjoy themselves. Like, how do you know that that was the reason why it was started? What if it was started because someone wanted to trap sentient beings in a game? What if it was started because someone wanted energy from sentient beings? Like, hey, what's the best way to get energy from sentient beings? What if I created a game where sentient beings are going to suffer? I'm going to control everything. I'm going to make sure that they suffer. They will also experience pleasure sometimes, but they will suffer. And that's how I'm going to get it energy to power whatever I want to, whatever I'm trying to power up. It scares me that we're not honest enough about what it really means to create a new person. Like, that's scary. The fact that we're not honest enough about what it really means to create a new person is scary. The fact that we're not having conversations about what it means, that's scary. The fact that people who want to have conversations with other people about what that means are the bad guys in this society, that's scary. If you try to have a conversation about what it means to have children, people are going to think that you're crazy. People are going to think that you are evil. People are going to think that you were sent by the devil. You know, people are going to think that there's something wrong with you. People are going to think that you're depressed. Like, it is taboo to actually be honest in this society. It is taboo to actually speak the truth in this society. So we must always be lying. I am okay. So that's the thing. There is no honesty. Right? That's why things are the way that they are. There's no honesty. You know, people are being mistreated and we're not honest about that, about how people are being mistreated. Like, we don't care. People just gotta fight. Just like if you were in a prison. It's not like if you people who are mistreated in prison um, are being mistreated when no one is watching. Like, there are a lot of people who are watching them get mistreated, but no one cares. They're like, hey, this is how it works. You know, it's normal that people get treated the way that they treated. If they're not strong enough, to fight for themselves, if they are not part of a group, if they're not part of a gang, if they don't have money. Because if you have money, yeah, you're gonna have power. Money is power everywhere. Like, even in prison, money is power. If you're gonna get locked up and you have money, you're gonna have power. You can get people to do what you want them to do. You can have bodyguards in prison. Like, hey man, I want y'all guys to protect me from these assholes. I'm gonna pay you this amount a month. There's no intellectual honesty in this realm, man, and that's scary. There is no intellectual honesty in this realm. Like, people are living a lie. People are delusional. And there's no desire to separate themselves from their delusions. So they want to remain delusional. Just like I told y'all guys, that one of the reasons why people do not want to separate themselves from their delusions is because there's something that they're gaining from their delusions. Because it's about survival. Survival is everything. Doesn't matter if people have to believe things that don't make sense in order to survive. They want to survive. Because survival is everything in this realm. It's about survival. It's not about what is actually true. It's about survival. That's why people would, like, if you had money and you told some people that you're going to give them money if they did something for you, even if it's wrong, they will do it. That's why some people are working for companies that they know are not good. They complain every day, like, but that company that I work for, but they still wake up in the morning and go to work. They don't like their bosses. Hey, my boss is an asshole, but they wake up every day and go to work. Because it's not about truth. It's not like when people are looking for work, they're like, hey man, I just want to do something that actually makes sense. No, they're looking for work. They want money. Like, hey, I gotta find a job that's gonna pay me enough for me to be able to do the things that I want to do. It doesn't really matter what the job really is. As long as what I'm doing is legal, I'm good. I'm safe. I'm not going to get arrested. So then that will mean that what I'm doing is good because I'm trying to feed my family. See, it's about survival. It's not about truth. It's about survival. That is why people who are honest, people who are real, people who are good, people who are fair are not loved in our society, because in the society it's about survival. Yes, you are right. Yes, you're good. Yes, you are conscious, but are you going to help me survive? No. Some men blame girls for falling in love with the bad guys. It's about survival, and survival is more important to women than it is to men. See, women want to survive, bro. You think you want to survive? No, women want to survive. Men, that's why the rate of is high. Like, men are more likely to themselves than women, because women want to survive. It's about survival. So yes, they're gonna fall in love with a person that's gonna help them survive. And to survive in this world, you gotta be willing to break the rules. You don't got to be intellectually honest. You don't got to be like, hey, what's the right thing to do? This is wrong. No. You ain't gotta be like that. You gotta be like, hey, I gotta do what I gotta do to make things happen. It's not about what's right. It's not about what's wrong. It's about what I need to do to make things happen. You see? If we live in a world where to survive you just needed to be a good person, women will be attracted to good people. They'll be attracted to good guys. They'll be attracted to nice guys. But this ain't the kind of world. Like, in a prison, like if we lived in a prison, men and women lived in, okay, like we're sent to, like, the same prison. Like, females were locked in their own prison, males were locked in their own prison, like they were just sent to like one prison. The guys that will be getting the women are the most powerful guys in the prison. These will be the guys that will be willing to do anything. They will be the most like fucked up guys. These will be the guys that will be getting the girls. Guys that will then be getting women outside, because they're just they're just too damn violent. But in a prison, these are the guys that will be getting the girls, because it's about survival. It's not about truth. A woman ain't going to be like, hey, this is a nice guy. This is, this guy is good. This guy understands me. This guy, no. She doesn't give a fuck. She wants to survive. It's about survival. As a man, you kind of like that, because you would work for someone who's not good, someone who doesn't represent your highest values, but you'd work for them and do things that don't represent your highest values, because you're trying to survive. You're trying to get paid. So we're like that as people. We don't care about the truth. That's one of the biggest problems. We're not honest. So we can't really expect this world to be better if we can't be honest with ourselves. We can't expect this world to be better if we can't be honest with ourselves. My advice to each and every person who's watching this video is that if really you want to stop suffering, you must be so damn honest with yourself about everything. Like about everything. Never ever tell yourself a lie. Be honest with yourself about who you are, about where you rank in society, about what you really want, what are your highest values. Be that honest and let life respond the way that it responds. If you're going to lie to yourself, if you're going to live a lie, you're going to suffer. But if you're going to be totally real, if you're going to be totally honest, you'll suffer, but in the end, you'll be free. Like, that's the only way to be free, is to be as real as possible, is to be as honest as possible, rather than living a lie. A lot of people are living a lie because they're afraid, but I'm telling you, if you really want to be free, you've got to be honest. You got to be real, do things that represent your highest values. Start really looking at how other people, view things, how other people are going to react, what other people are going to say. Hey, it is what it is, man. No one really knows what is really going on here. Some people are just privileged enough to find themselves in a game that they actually like, but and in a game where things are working in their favor, but no one really knows what's really going on. Except for the people that are like controlling everything, but people who are like you don't know what the heck is going on, so you can't trust them. You can't allow them to make you see things a certain way. If what they're saying doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to you. You mustn't pretend as if it does make sense. It doesn't make sense to force someone to play a game that they didn't ask to play. It doesn't make sense to make someone play a game that they didn't agree to play. And to convince yourself that if they don't want to play the game, or if they're not good at playing the game, or if they don't like the game, it means that they are bad. We must be intellectually honest enough. That's when we'll be able to find the right solutions to the problems that exist in our society. That's when we'll actually figure out what needs to be done to make things better in our society, if we can make things better. But we can't figure out what to do to make things better if we don't even know what the real problems are. or what's causing the problems that exist in our society. Thank you, guys.